Hello and welcome to the next video in this tutorial series, and in this video we will look about some basic Airmicro things. There are several things and we just start with the most easiest thing that Tempest already explained in his tutorial a bit, the hover thingy. So basically any air unit can stand still, even if it's not a gunship but a bomber or an interceptor, if you just keep clicking below it. And it also can hover backwards very slowly if you just click right behind it very often. As soon as you stop clicking, the bomber will, or the plane will either start moving or go down, and if you click again it will go up and stand still in the air. And you can even turn around a bit, and it's really useful for double bombing. The second thing you can do is stopping by pressing the S key. You can of course do this by clicking the red hand in the bottom left hand corner, but this is really inefficient. You shouldn't do that. And it's mostly useful if you really want to use the radar range of your bomber in order to kill engineers if you make your first flight and you probably don't have an scout yet. So you can see the engineers, and after you stopped you throw your bomb, and as soon as you throw the bomb you stop again and just rapidly click attacking and stopping in order to kill more of the engineers. And also if you want to fly a very small curve with your bomber, you rapidly hit moving and stopping, so the bomber will basically turn at the position it's now, and you probably can avoid anti-air defense, and it's actually faster than if you just move around the whole way, and you can snipe multiple engineers with that. Just take care that you press attack in the right moment. So it's just about pressing the S key very often. The next thing I want to show is that you can still dodge if you're in the air. So dodging is not limited to land units only, but of course it's way more difficult with air units. And I will show it on the example of the Tech 2 flag, and it's difficult because the shots are quite fast and they come often, so you will never be able to dodge any shots, every shots. But if you just move around a bit, you can really, let's say, half the damage that is taken from the flag. And if you do that with multiple gunships, then yeah. So you see I made, let's see, a bit more than 560 damage. Let's see how much damage I deal when I just stand the gunship on it. Oh, wrong. So if I just send a gunship on it, I deal 300, so more or less the half. So it's really useful to just do the same. You do it the ground, fly a bit left, fly a bit right, and that basically works with every gunship and against Tech 1 and Tech 2, especially if you have a Jester. Against Tech 1 anti-air defense and you stay at max range, you can probably dodge half the shots and really increase the survivability. The next thing I want to talk about is vectors. So how do you fly to a ship, for example? Of course it's important with bombers too, but it's even more important with torpedo bomber if a ship is standing near the coast, because if you just send your torpedo bomber on the ship, or the torpedo bomber comes from the wrong side, it will just throw its torpedoes inside the land and will not deal any damage. So instead of just clicking on the ship and probably missing half the torpedoes, you should take the last vector. So you saw I already threw like 2 bombs just to land, so the frigate did not take any damage. and you just make a few movement comments so you are in the right position, and then you throw bombs so you can hit it. Just do not throw from here to here, but do it on the waterway. Really do it from here to here, and that will prevent much frustration with especially torpedo bombers. Something about the experimental units is, of course, that's important for all air units, but with the experimentals it really comes to play. If you see big engineer groups, then go for the big engineer groups and maybe don't go for mass extractors or something. If you have that bomber and that bomber hits an air factory with, let's say, 200 engineers, it will gain so much health through veterancy, and it's pretty much the same for Surupa. So if you see your Surupa going down, look for Tech 1 units, look for everything. Most of the time the enemy can't destroy them fast enough unless he has some destruction mod that removes the timer, and most people don't have. So if you first come to the enemy base and there is air defense, you can afford to go for the small units first. Of course you should do that with every experimental, but it's really much more important with air experimentals because they gain really much HP. And that's basically all you need to know about Airmicro, so it's not that difficult. And I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you learned something, and see you in the field.